The basic premise is the fact that the Earth is not out there in the remote recesses of space alone by itself where nobody cares about it, nobody knows about it. We are actually in a special place, and we're very significant because of that. The fact that the Earth might be in a centralized location of the universe, for someone who doesn't believe in God, that might be very uncomfortable because that doesn't happen by chance. Someone had to put it there. So that's the basic theme of the movie.
And the idea is that Copernicus, he was the first one who said that the Earth is not in the center of things and that everything goes around it. And so this idea, the Copernican, is that how you pronounce it, the Copernican principle?
Right.
Okay. That became sort of the basis for all of modern science, right? Can you tell us why that principle is important and how what science has now found may disprove it?
The Copernican principle basically is the foundation of modernity from 600 years ago with Copernicus. The idea that we, the Earth, or we humans, are nothing special, we're just a cosmic accident. Because if you're not in the center and you're out there somewhere where nobody has any signposts, this is where you are, then that breeds a kind of atheistic view of the cosmos, you know, just time and chance got us here. And so the Copernican principle is the mainstay of modern science today because it's basically atheistic in a lot of ways. So putting us back in the center changes things.
And what's this thing about the fact that the background radiation that formed at the very beginning, the Big Bang era or whatever, how that stuff, what has been seen in these satellites of the last few years that sort of finally proves that yes, indeed, things are, the solar system is in the middle of all of this universe, the seeable universe.
Yeah, well, they sent up a probe. Well, first of all, in 1978, they had a hint that this radiation, cosmic microwave background radiation, wasn't smooth, that there were bumps in it. But they didn't really know what these bumps meant. And by bumps, I mean temperature changes in this. It's at 2.75 degree Kelvin, and it might be a little higher here and a lower there in parts of the universe. So they sent up this probe in 1990 called the Kobe probe, and it came back and it showed that the Earth was aligned by the Earth's equator and the ecliptic between the sun and the Earth with this cosmic radiation. Now that's significant because the universe is 93 billion light years in diameter, and our little Earth is, what, 93 million miles from the sun, and yet the whole universe is aligned with the Earth. So they found that in 1990. Then in 2001, they couldn't believe their eyes, so they sent up another probe to check on the first one, and they found the same evidence. Then in 2009, they couldn't believe the first two, so they sent up another one. This time the European Space Agency got involved with NASA. And they just got the results back in 2013, and lo and behold, the same thing. So it's like three strikes, you're out. You know, this is scientific evidence now.
And there's this axis. Can you explain how the axis fits into all of this?
Yeah.
This is like an axis that's going all the way through the seeable universe?
Well, it shows that the Earth is significant because it's the hub of the universe. If all of the radiation, which comes from everywhere in the universe, there's no place we don't see it, and it's all coming toward us and aligned with us like this, you know, on a 23.5 degree tilt and with our equator, the Earth is like a little pea compared to like the Milky Way. You know, what is this universe doing being aligned with this little pea? But that's what they found 3 times in 20 years.
As I was watching it, I was thinking, well, if you're an atheist, you could still be an atheist with this data. You could still say, well, it just so happens that the Earth is in the center. I mean, I don't know why it has to shake up these atheist scientists so much that we would be in the center.
Because if you're a believer in the Big Bang, you believe that there's going to be this smooth explosion that's not going to have any distinguishing features, and it's not going to have any center. So if you find a center in that big mass, well, that means somebody had to make it that way. There's a designer behind it, you see. So that's why they want to get away from the center idea.
Physicists,
which has to look at the good and bad of Catholics, Jews, Protestants, Muslims. And I'm not afraid to say it. You know, I have said good and bad of all of those groups. Some have interpreted that as, well, he's anti-Semitic because he's talking bad things about, you know, what some Jewish people did. Well, I talk bad things about what Catholics do and what Protestants do and what Muslims do. So it doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, but you know how the things can get blown up in the media, what it was about.
You believe that the Earth, indeed, everything is still revolving around the Earth. And is that accurate? You do not think that the Earth goes around the sun. You think that the sun goes around the Earth.
Yeah. Now, we don't cover that specifically in the principle,
right,
because this is basically just a general understanding of cosmology. It's sort of like if somebody says, how do you get to Boston, Massachusetts? Well, you take a boat to the United States, and that's basically what the principle says. Now, if you want to find out how to get to Boston, you can ask somebody else. Okay, so if you want to get to the next level, yeah, there is this aspect of cosmology where, yeah, the Earth might be in the center and not even moving. Okay, now I cover that in my literature, and we're making a second movie that covers that, but that's not what the principle is covering. Right. The principle does go into it just a little bit, because we tell the people that the special theory of relativity was invented because of experiments that were done in the late 1800s that showed the Earth might not be moving at all. And so modern science had to come up with an explanation, voila, special relativity, where everything's relative and nothing's still, everything's moving. So there's a whole big story behind that, but we don't get into it in the principle.
Okay.
All right. Today we're going to talk briefly here about the cosmic microwave background and how they've basically proven that the Earth is the center of the universe. Okay, with billion-dollar satellites, 3 different ones over a decade's worth. Actually, they sent them up there trying to prove that the Earth isn't the center of the universe, and yeah, their data kind of confirmed that it was. So, all you Big Bang believers out there, you got to find a new theory, because it's wrong. You can't have a Big Bang unless you want to say the Big Bang started at Earth, in which I'd say, yeah, you're probably right, because God created everything right here and then stretched everything out. Now, let me do a brief background here. It's called the cosmic microwave background, and I'm on the wiki page because this will work for what we're doing. They noticed that there is a background radiation that was the same in every single direction that they pointed their little detector. And they called this the echo of the Big Bang because they didn't know what it was. And it sounds good. We'll call it the echo of the Big Bang, which is a frickin' retarded idea, but whatever. That's what they went with. It's the echo of the Big Bang. But they wanted to learn more about it, so they sent up what's called a Planck satellite, this named after some guy, to actually get better readings of what is going on with the temperature of the universe and the background radiation. The satellites came back, and let me pull this up. The satellites came back looking with data something similar to what's going on here. And when they filter it all out, you get like this little thing here where the temperature differentiation has a north, south, east, and west to it. And guess what's right here in the middle in what they call the axis of evil? Why, that would be where the Earth is. So, yeah, the Earth is in the axis of evil at their center point of the universe. Now, they'll never cop to it and never admit it as an absolute fact, because they still have people working on the Big Bang Theory. I mean, what are those people going to do for jobs, right? So these theories, obviously Big Bang is not going to go away, even though you've got scientific observable proof that says that the Earth is the center of the universe. We go back to this one. This one is Pravada.ru, some kind of science technology thing. They're talking about the same thing. Axis of evil piercing throughout the universe changes the conception of space. Right, it changes your conception. You can't have a Big Bang if the Earth is in the center. There's a Copernican idea out there that says the Earth is nowhere special and everything looks exactly the same no matter where you are in the universe. Well, guess you want to know why they believe they didn't believe the Earth was in a preferred location? Because they didn't believe in the philosophical idea that the Earth was special, right? Which is why I always point out when guys like Bill Nye make a big spectacle out of saying the stars are just like our sun. because they're trying to make it look like the entire universe is exactly the same everywhere. And what we see in our solar system to the Earth is going to be exactly the same out there, which is BS. It's a lie. They don't know what's out there. What is not BS is that the Earth is at the center of the universe. It's proven fact. I don't know what else you could do to prove it.